battery energy storage are no longer a solution for off-grid, are no longer a solution for when there is no electricity source. It is now a solution when having electricity. We have seen a lot of countries introducing battery energy storage into their grid code, into their regulations. We have seen that in Jordan, we have seen that in Egypt, we have seen that many other countries. While, of course, all of us are struggling with the oil prices, so battery energy storage is becoming more and more reliable source to replace any diesel generator or any fossil fuel generating methodology for off-grid solutions. So basically, today we are going to talk with one of the leading companies globally in implementing battery energy storage for the commercial and industrial sectors. Uh, I'm going to go directly to the first presentation to try to get the use of time. Muhammad Adam from Agitco. Muhammad, you can please share your screen. Muhammad, we are happy to have you. This is your first time probably with SolarBic. Please, the mic is yours, the floor is yours.
Sabah al khair, good morning everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Muhammad Adam from Majetco, Huawei exclusive value added partner and distributor for digital power solutions in the UAE and Yemen. Over the next few minutes, I will introduce Majetco, explain how we support customers throughout their project journey, share a successful UAE battery energy storage project that demonstrates the strength of Huawei and Majetco partnership. Together, we provide not only world-class technology, but also the local expertise needed to deliver successful energy storage projects. Agitco is a UAE-based supplier and distributor specialized in renewable energy solutions. As Huawei exclusive value-added partner for the UAE and Yemen, we have supported over 100 solar projects and supplied more than 800 megawatts of PV inverters capacity across the region. Beyond Huawei digital power solutions, we work with leading technology partners such as Astro Energy for Tier 1 solar modules and 7 Sensor for weather monitoring system, which are compatible with Huawei product. This also allows us to support complete renewable energy projects from solar modules and inverters to battery storage and monitoring systems through a single trusted partner. One of the key advantages of working with Agitco is our involvement throughout the entire project lifecycle. We support customers from early stages of project development by providing solution design assistance, product selection guidance, and commercial support. We then coordinate logistically and deliver and assist during commissioning, provide technical training, and continue supporting customers through and after sales services. Our goal is simple: to make Huawei technology easier to deploy, easier to operate, and easier to maintain through local support and expertise. So why do customers choose Agitco? First, we provide local technical expertise with teams based in the UAE that can respond quickly to customers' requirement. Second, as a Huawei certified partner, we have direct access to Huawei technical ecosystem and resources. Third, we offer faster response time through local inventory availability and logistics support. We also help customers with system design, application engineering, and solution sizing to ensure the right system is selected from the beginning. In addition, we provide technical training and knowledge transfer to EPCs, developers, and consultants. Finally, while all warranty remains fully backed by Huawei, Agitco can support you to apply and get back your warranty. Our big and most important project reference is the vegetable farm. To demonstrate what this partnership can develop, I would like to share a landmark UAE project. This project is recognized as Middle East's first 215 kilowatt off-grid commercial and industrial PV plus storage application for vegetable farming. The installation includes 9 Huawei smart hybrid cooling energy storage system, providing approximately 1.9 megawatt hours of storage capacity, together with 11 Huawei Sun 2115 kilowatt hour inverters. The system powers greenhouse operations completely off-grid, delivering reliable energy even under challenging desert conditions. Huawei advanced grid-forming technology ensures stable operation, while Fusion Solar provides intelligent monitoring and optimization. This project highlights how Huawei technology combined with Ajetco's local support can successfully deliver a complex energy storage project in demanding environments. As the UAE continues its journey toward net zero 2050, battery energy storage system will play a critical role in supporting renewable energies integration, grid stability, and energy resilience. The combination of Huawei proven digital power technology and Ajetco's local expertise create a strong foundation for customers looking to deploy reliable energy storage solution. Together, we are helping accelerate the adoption of renewable energy across the UAE and wider region. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to supporting your next solar and energy storage project. If you would like to discuss an upcoming project or learn more about Huawei Digital Power Solutions, please feel free to contact us. You can see our email, phone number, and website, and you can even scan the QR code, and it will directly send you to our website. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.
Shukran, Mohammed. Mohammed, as a value-added partner for Huawei in UAE and Yemen, right?
Yemen, yes.
You do have in stock ready in both countries.
Yes, exactly.
So people who want to buy 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 pieces, they don't have to
It's
wait
all
for products to come
available.
from China.
Yeah, it's all available. They can contact us directly, and we always have ready stock in case it's sometimes if we don't have it in stock, we can order it from Huawei and it will be delivered to
And
both
if
countries.
anything happens, any challenges, problems, your team also offers after-sales service, replacement, warranty support.
Yes, and your warranty is directly with Huawei. Ajetco is the middleman that will support you, but you don't have to worry about warranty since Huawei is here and it's directly backed by them.
Thank you, Muhammad. We're gonna get back to you at a later stage with a couple of questions. I have some questions, and I'm pretty sure people also have questions. Speaking of questions, it's important for anyone who come up with any question to please write it in the Q&A section for people who are joining us from Zoom, not in the chat box. Because we are going to focus on the Q&A section, and people who are watching us through social media, please write your questions as a comment, and Solar Arabic team will deliver these questions to us. Thank you, Muhammad Adam. We're going to get back to you.
Thank you so much.
And now I would like to welcome Mahmoud Al-Najjar. Mahmoud is the sales director for Huawei, based in Dubai, managing several countries in the GCC region. And one thing, maybe not a lot of people know, Mahmoud is my friend since I was 11 years old. So basically, almost 25 years of me knowing Mahmoud. Mahmoud, I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you, Waleed. Really appreciate it. Thank you for this
Please
introduction.
share your screen and go ahead. I don't want to take any of your time.
Sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So can you guys see my screen?
All clear, Habib, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it, Waleed, for the introduction, and appreciate everyone joining this webinar. So I will just go quickly and introduce Huawei to you, then introduce our solution that we are developing for C&I energy storage. As a company overview, I'll just go through this quickly. Huawei is the leading ICT infrastructure and smart devices supplier in the world. We have over 213,000 employees worldwide. Over 54% of our employees work in R&D, and around 64% of our employees are outside China, are hired locally from each country, and we are present in more than 170 countries and regions. Huawei invests a lot in R&D and research and development, and having almost 165,000 active patents, investing roughly around 23% yearly from our revenue over the past 5 years. Huawei have managed to spend roughly $200 billion over the past decade in R&D, research and development, to put that into perspective, our revenue last year in 2025 reached almost $126 billion, coming from different businesses and sector groups like ICT infrastructure, which is basically telecommunication, networks, enterprises, consumer business, which is the smartphone, tablet, smartwatch, cloud business, which is basically cloud computing power, intelligent automotive solution, which is basically more related into our innovation in our automotive industry, and digital power, which is related to our industry that we are representing today. More into digital power, there's the main technologies in business in digital power about our technologies. Basically, the first one is the smart PV inverters. Huawei have been ranked the #1 inverter supplier for inverter over the past 11 years. We're supplying over 800 gigawatt by end of 2025. 2025 alone, we have shipped over 175 gigawatt inverters. By end of 2025, we have shipped over 57 gigawatt hour of energy storage systems. Our smart charging network, which is have been installed in over 60 countries. Our Drive One automotive solutions have been incorporated over 50 car models with a corporation with over 10 car manufacturers in China and Europe. Our solution for data centers and critical power have been #1, providing modular UPS and DC power. And last but not least, our site power facility for telecom towers have been #1 for the past 9 consecutive years, having over 30% global market share coverage. The business sector of digital power is only less than 10% of Huawei revenue, but that's $11.1 billion revenue by 2025. Huawei have been present globally in 170 countries, but since I'm based here in UAE, Huawei have been in the UAE for over 25 years, since 2001. We have 5 offices and distributed across Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We are more than 1,500 employees, and we're currently contributing a lot to the local business in UAE. We have over 60% market share in 5G networks with Du and Etisalat as carrier. We have big enterprise cooperation with ADNOC, Emirates, Ankabut in the cloud business, and more into our business, the digital power. Huawei is supplying over 4,000 megawatt PV inverters in UAE, and over 120 megawatt data centers are being supplied. Now, that was just an introduction about Huawei and our presence in UAE. Now I'll just move towards our newest innovation in C&I energy storage. Huawei have managed to deliver the world's first hybrid cooling energy storage system in the world that was designed and developed over 6 pillars. The first pillars is safety with C2C dual link features. It is the second pillar is the efficiency, reaching the highest round-trip efficiency in the industry of 91.3%. Utilization, being able to deliver 100% DoD to do full charge, full discharge of the batteries. Cycle performance, the fourth pillar, to achieve higher SOH, at least 2% over the first 10 years. And of course, being automated and intelligent in operation and maintenance. And we have designed this solution to have one fits all. Meaning this solution is be able to work with multiple scenarios. This is the world's first hybrid cooling system that comes in multiple sizes: 107 kilowatt hour, 160 kilowatt hour, 215 kilowatt hour, and 241 kilowatt hour, all in one solution cabinets. Of course, one fits all solutions means it can work in multiple operations. So it can be utilized in self-consumption scenario, time of use. It can do, this is on-grid applications. Of course, time of use, peak shaving. It can do also load extension. Can work with frequency regulation. And of course, the last one is to work completely off the grid. Of course, that's being utilizing the other solutions from Huawei. With our inverters, we have the world's largest C&I inverter, 150 kilowatt, that can also work with PV optimizers, 1.4 kilowatt optimizers, and our built-in energy management system, Smart Logger. And this with our Huawei ultra-fast liquid cooling charger that can deliver power, DC power to charge cars and vehicles up to 600 kilowatts. So the basic solution or the main solution is that whole one fits all, that we try to make it as simple as possible to be more compatible and can be applied in many scenarios. So our back cabinet solution is all prefabricated, very simple to deploy with less than 2 hours. So the same cabinet will have battery packs inside, PCS, cooling system, EMS, and BMS, all integrated into one cabinet. Then, of course, using Huawei solution, there's no external EMS are required. So it can work with Huawei inverters and third-party inverters, not only Huawei inverters, is on a good mood, and can so that you can save the extra investment of procuring and purchasing external EMS. The third one is, or the main, what I see is really innovative, is that Huawei has developed a 4-wire PCS. PCS is the power conversion system that converts the power from DC to AC. So the whole system is AC coupled. So you connect the batteries on an AC bus bar with 400 volt. The innovation here in the PCS that it provides 3-phase and a neutral. So you don't need to install any external delta Y transformer or isolation transformer to provide the neutral point. That saves a lot of capital and investment. And with our controller, everything can be controlled through our MGC. That saves also the extra components that needs to be required and reduce your capex. Focusing on the safety as the first pillar, Huawei have managed to achieve the global first highest safety certification for TV, which is the Prime Safety Certificates. This makes sure that there's no thermal runaway in your batteries, no pack level fire, no system explosion, and we have successfully delivered the top explosion venting test, where there's a top vent to release all the pressure that if accumulated inside the cabinet, and to do the RCD test for both AC/DC, for all AC/DC and auxiliary. So we are the globally the first one to achieve this kind of certification. Of course, with all many other certification for safety regulations and grid connection. Second one is about the performance. So with Huawei built in-house a new generation of silicon carbide IGBTs and our innovative cooling system that using both liquid cooling and air cooling at the same time, we have managed to reach the highest round-trip efficiency in the industry of 91.3%. But actually, the actual testing at sites in multiple locations, the RT is even higher. We were reaching over 92%. But that only is not about the efficiency. Using this kind of technology gave us the capability to work in very tough and harsh environments, such as the Middle East and the UAE. So this solution can work up to 55 degrees atmosphere outside temperature, which is the roughest situation we have faced here in our region. It can work comfortably without any power interruption. So this is another advantage from using these latest technologies that was built in-house in Huawei. Another advantages of our patent pack level optimizer. So this is how the packs looks from the inside. Inside each battery pack, you will find a pack level optimizer to make sure each pack can charge and discharge independently of the other packs, so that you always make sure, because these packs are connected in series, and in series, you will always get the lowest current. So if one pack is having less output, if without optimizers, you would definitely by default get less energy being charged and discharged from the batteries. To overcome this, we have a patent pack level that is installed inside each packs, so that you can fully utilize your batteries to do 100% charge and 100% discharge of the batteries, but also that gave us the capability to do active balancing, which is it will automatically, continuously do balancing of the cells of the batteries that are being installed inside these packs, to omit the need to go to shut down the system and do the balancing of the cells and the packs at least twice a year. So that this is also another advantage of having this patent pack level optimizer on the packs. Another solution in our another very important component in this solution is Huawei Smart MGC 5000, which what we call our hexagonal warrior in the PV and PV and energy storage C&I. So this logger, or this MGC controller, will be able to do power control for various active and reactive power control actions. It is capable of doing EMS for energy as a energy management system to work in. It has already built-in multiple operation modes. Within this operation modes, it can act as a microgrid controller. It can centralize your controlling for all the decentralized components by high efficient operation methods. It can control most of these components, but it also has north-south communication readiness, so that you can interact with a higher level EMS or your dispatch center from your control room, or let's say the utility company control level, and also act as unified southbound access to communicate with all your integrated components from Huawei and other suppliers of components. So this is a key part of our C&I energy storage system. This is more a presentation of the unified access that it can present. So you can do PLC power line communication through Modbus to the inverters. It has a plan to do Modbus communication, Modbus TCP, IECs 104 and Goose communication. It has LAN access to do Modbus TCP, built-in 4G SIM card slot to do the communication and have online access to remote monitoring. Then also SFP, which is the fiber communication, if you want to have a much faster response and interaction. So it has a built-in fiber ports, and it has also RS485 communication to do Modbus RTU, so that you can communicate with your external meter, weather station, sensors, and third-party inverters. Also have capability to do DIDO, dry contract, digital input, digital output communication with the breakers. So it will act as a relay for your breakers to switch on and off load breakers and controllers. This is the other side of the controller. It is able to do direct sampling and electrical measurements. So it can directly measure the current from the CTs that are, this is, as I said, an AC coupled system. So CTs will be installed to measure the load. And it can directly sample this measurements to the controller. It can sense the voltage to see if there's any power interruption, then directly do the switching from completely on the grid system, so the batteries can of course work on the grid, and the inverters, then switch the whole system from on-grid to off-grid and from PQ to VSG mode in less than 20 milliseconds to achieve seamless switching from on-grid to off-grid mode. This, of course, the highest switching in our industry to make sure you have a smooth operation from in case there's any power interruption. This is for on-grid application. And in an off-grid application, it is able also to do seamless switching from PV-ESS to DG. So all the controlling can be done through our smart MGC controller. The batteries, of course, will operate in VSG mode or grid forming mode, and the inverters will work in PQ mode or grid following mode. And everything is managed and controlled through the smart MGC. So basically, this is we can say this is a 5-in-1 device. It omits the need of external relays, DG main controller, the need of external meter, module expansion would have multiple slots, and a microgrid controller. This is one of the most innovative actually controllers in the industry that can make sure the system can operate smoothly and in very minimal and easy to set up. Another advantage this controller have is it can do load management up to 3 levels based on the SOC. So, for example, if your SOC reaches 50%, you can set this to, for example, shut off the breaker to cut off the general load out of the microgrid, or the backup load. Then, if, for example, your load, your SOC state of charge reaches 20%, you can switch another breaker to cut off the, let's say, secondary load to make sure your critical, most important loads still have power until the power is resumed, or the power or the solar generation is resumed, or the diesel generator is back to provide the power to the loads. So with this controller accompanied with our energy storage batteries, Luna 2000, we can do synchronous black start up to 40 cabinets together to provide fast and easy supply recovery of the power. So from a complete blackout, complete shutdown, the system can be put back online in minutes level of power supply to soft start multiple PCS together and synchronize the voltage for all the PCSs to provide a stable power operation of these batteries. 40 cabinets, that's roughly around 10 megawatt hour. So this is the average normal or the maximum size we see in C&I sector. Of course, if you have larger capacities, then we have other solutions of containers. And to make sure the system is simplified, as we said, we try to make your operation and maintenance intelligent and smart. So we have Huawei have developed our tools to make sure your system is very smart and efficient. So there is the free tool of a smart design tool, which is Huawei developed in-house to help all the professionals and developers and EPCs to design their system. This is a free tool. You just need to register. You can scan this barcode, this QR code to access this tool. And you can or simply Google it. It's called the Smart Design. It will generate your design. I'll give you a full report of the capacity, DC, AC size, financial benefits in less than 10 minutes. Then also we have Huawei built Fusion Solar app that help you commission your own planet in less than 5 minutes. It's very easy to install. It's available in all the stores. It can be accessed installed online. Fusion Solar app. and you can do the full commissioning of your plant within less than 5 minutes. It's very easy to set up. It's also free. Then we also have our free online monitoring platform, Smart PVMS or Fusion Solar. This is another QR code. You feel free to scan it to have access to these kind of websites. It's free to use, where you can have access to all the components that you have installed on your website. You can have, for an APC or developers, you can have one account with multiple that can access many locations, projects, and there's multiple accounts with different hierarchical permissions. So you can have permission only for end users, you can have permission for installers, and admin accounts who have permission to access all the components and upgrade the software to remote operation and maintenance, changing parameters. So this is also free of charge, that can be accessible to any of the APCs or the customers who have used Huawei in the Fusion Solar. As a summary about the solution that I just discussed, this Huawei Luna 2000 comes in multiple sizes and it's scalable. So we try to make the solution as scalable as possible, and so that you have redundancy in your battery, on your in your microgrid system. It can be scaled up to 40 units, which is roughly around 10 megawatt hour. If I want to summarize the key features and the key items that I'm trying to represent here, that this is it has a built-in cooling system for both liquid cooled and air cooled for the full cabinet. It is all-in-one 5 PCS battery packs, EMS and BMS. It is the highest round-trip efficiency in the industry, reaching 91.3%. So that makes sure you have more usable capacity in your batteries. It has an output voltage of 400 volt, 3-phase, 4 wires. That means 3-phase and a neutral. So you don't need to install any external transformer to provide the neutral point. And for it can work up to 55 degrees Celsius atmospheric temperature, and the rating starts only after 50. So this is also one of the highest and standards products that can work in very harsh environment, especially in our region. So, but also that translates that you don't need to you can install these outdoor, and you don't need to have more costly by building shades to so this one can be directly installed under direct sunlight. You don't need to build any shades for it. And also we're using tetrafluoroethane liquid, which have the longest lifetime for and you don't need to change it for at least 10 years. And focusing on the safety, there's multiple safety features, starting from the cells to the pack to the rack to the full cabinet, and achieving the highest safety certification from TUV, which is the Prime Safety Certificate level 3. These batteries can do grid forming and black start. So DG can be there only as a cold backup in case there is not enough juice or energy are available in the batteries. Then you can start your DG, diesel generator. This solution is able to do seamless switching from on-grid to off-grid in less than 20 milliseconds. This is the highest in the industry, almost reaching to UPS level of switching time. But also using our latest in-house silicon carbonide IGBTs, our PCS is capable of delivering 130% peak load for 10 seconds, and we can do 120% of the PCS capabilities for 1 minute, and we can do 110% continuous operation of the PCS. Our MGC is able to do Smart MGC 5000. It can act as an EMS, replace your relays, controllers, logger, and meter. We can support asynchronous loads, so we can operate with motors, compressors. Of course, it has to be considered in the design stage. We have our grid forming capability can do full drive-through. So in case any short circuit happening on the load side, any faults happening, our system will have a ride through and make sure we still have a continuous power being delivered. And of course, having a modular concept that the batteries can be cascaded together. If one battery or one cabinet is being affected, we make sure it's not affecting the other cabinets that's connected to the same AC bus bar. We can have switching with no load with transformers, so that we can make sure we can withstand the inrush current that is we are getting from the transformer. And as you can see here, the black start, we sense the voltage and make sure we have a smooth, clear sine wave power output from our PCS and components. Of course, this system can work both on the grid, off the grid, in multiple operation modes, as we discussed earlier. Hopefully, I did not take a lot of your time. My name is Mahmoud Al-Najjar. I'm the sales director of PV and energy storage from Hawaii. I'm based here in UAE. This is my mobile phone. Feel free to reach me, and this is my official email. And you can reach me also over LinkedIn. You can scan this code through your mobile. It will send you directly to my LinkedIn page. I'm happy to give you this presentation. Feel free to reach me anytime.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Shukran. I have received 35 questions, so get ready to answer a lot of questions in the second part of the webinar. Before we switch to the second part is going to be a different part. We are going to have a panel discussion with a couple more experts in the industry from Emerge and Cleanergize. But before we go into that panel discussion, there is going to be a poll coming up for people who are joining us from Zoom. The target of this poll is for us to understand the background of people attending, so we can understand how we can drive the discussion afterwards. So, Meghna, please, you can share the poll on Zoom. The first question is, where are you from? We know that this is a webinar that's focused on the GCC market, UAE specifically, but we understand that there is going to be a lot of people interested in the topic coming from other markets. So please, people who are watching from Zoom, you can answer the poll directly. People who are not on Zoom, please write it and type it in the chat. We are observing the comments over our social media channels. Let's see the results, Meghna. Okay, as expected, almost 50% of our attendees are from the UAE and other neighboring GCC markets. We have Saudi Arabia in the second place. Okay, the second question is, what background, what kind of companies are you working at today? Again, please answer on Zoom, or people who are joining us from other social media channels, please type your answer in the comment section. Are you from a developer, EPC, service provider, O&M, investor, public sector, academia, consultant, independent worker, or maybe we have some students, I'm pretty sure, as well. So please, people who are on Zoom, to answer on the poll. People who are watching us from other platforms, type it in the chat. It helps us a lot with understanding the language of the discussion for the later stage. Thank you, Meghna. We can show the results, please. Okay, so most of the attendees are EPCs and consultants. So we have 30% EPC, 25% almost consultant, and after that, the developer. That's expected. Of course, EPCs, consultants, and developers are going to be the most interested in knowing what Huawei has for the battery energy storage in the CNI sector. Tamam, I would like to welcome everyone. Please, if you can open your cameras. Muhammad, Bayush, Srivatsa, Mahmoud. I'm going to go directly to use the time, all the time that is available. We have so many questions. But before we start with the questions, I have one question to Srivatsa. We have seen that question a couple places in the Q&A section. Before we go there, if you can please introduce yourself and your company, and if you can give us a background of the regulations of the battery energy storage in the UAE, if it's different, of course, in different Emirates, for us to be all on the same page before we go into details.
Perfect. Thanks. I'm audible, right, Waleed? Perfect. First of all, thanks, Waleed and the team for getting this seminar on. My name is Srivatsa. As Waleed introduced me, I'm the director for energy at Clenergize. Clenergize is essentially a consultancy firm. We provide our services under ESG and sustainability reporting, energy and grid infrastructure consultancy, and especially on the solar side of it. On solar side of it, we have experience on CNI dominantly, 10 plus years of experience on CNI and utility. We act as owner's engineer, lender's engineer, CNI consultants. So essentially, this is the brief background of the company. In terms of the question you asked me, Waleed, that what is the protocol or what is the procedure or what is the policy? So as we all understand, in the Emirates, every Emirate has their own policy, has their own governance to allow the solar project. So I'll start with Dubai. Dubai essentially doesn't allow any kind of BSS systems or battery-based systems till the time the grid is available on the plot. So if any client is connected to the grid, they are not allowed to store power onto BSS. That doesn't mean that they cannot do solar. They can still do solar, the on-grid solar. If the client is based in a location where there is no grid, they have the full flexibility to do solar plus BSS. That applies to Dubai. In Abu Dhabi, in Northern Emirates, the regulations are pretty easier on that front. You can definitely do BSS plus solar. Abu Dhabi especially allows zero export. So that is the commercial angle of the policy, which we have to understand. On the technical angle, as I explained, the maximum connected load or maximum demand load is your cap, and you can do solar plus BSS there. In Northern Emirates, the commercial angle, as I explained again, is you are not allowed to export. But on the technical angle of it, you are only limited by the 10% of your demand load. So to make it simple, Northern Emirates allows 10% of your demand load. You can do solar plus BSS. Abu Dhabi, zero export. You can do solar plus BSS limited to your maximum demand load, 100% maximum demand load. And Dubai allows no BSS plus solar if the client is connected to the grid. If you are off grid, you have the full flexibility to do solar with BSS. I hope I answered your question.
Two follow-up questions from my side. Number one, are you allowed to switch between on-grid, off-grid in Dubai? That's number one. Number two, for self-consumption in Northern Emirates and Abu Dhabi, basically you program the system and the extra from the generation is exported into the battery power bank and then injected back to the grid, just to make sure we understand properly.
So the first part which you asked me, that are you allowed to do on-grid, off-grid switching, the ATS switching, not allowed, because then you are playing with the grid, which is not allowed as per the special policies of the Supreme Council. On the second front of it, Waleed, you asked me that essentially the exported power through the solar is fed to the battery, and battery can be consumed by the consumption of the client. So that is perfectly allowed. That is not an issue. But export out of the system and the BSS is not allowed to the grid. There are regulations where they allow or they ask you to put grid injection relays. So you're not technically allowed to do that. But we all understand technically power energy cannot be stopped, so it will flow. Essentially, what I'm trying to mean is that when you export, you don't get any benefit out of it.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you, Srivatsa. We'll get back to you. A lot of questions are actually for you. I'm going to go to Piyush. Piyush, please, again, if you can introduce yourself, your company, and then as a leading developer in the UAE, we would like to hear from you what clients, because you're the one who talks to clients the most. What is the pain? What are the challenges that people are trying to fix using battery energy storage in the C&I market?
First of all, thank you, Walid, for inviting me on this panel discussion. And good morning, everyone, to all the viewers and my fellow panelists. I'm currently associated with Emerge Limited, which looks into developing solar and C&I market projects with solar and BESS solutions. I've been engineering since 11 years of experience, scale solar PV projects. Sorry. I'll jump to the question which you have asked for the UAE C&I market challenge. There are many challenges developers face in the UAE C&I market. But today, I would like to have two major challenges needs to be discussed thoroughly. Challenge one is the matching the solar generation with the solar customers' actual load profile. And the second challenge which we see as a pain in the market is the integrating renewable energy with the existing electrical infrastructure. So the common misconception is that whenever two facilities are having similar consumptions require the same solar. Sorry, give me some time, please.
No worries, Piyush. I think there is also a problem in the connection. So I'll get back to you with the question because I have a question that came up many, many times to Mahmoud. Mahmoud, just a very quick questions. And of course, it's a Jordanian guy asking you the question. Muad Iqtishat. Muad is asking you, since Huawei is, of course, we know is not one of the cheapest products in the market. How do we convince clients of using Huawei solutions for battery energy storage when, of course, the feasibility of the project is a top priority for the client?
Sure. Basically, by feasibility itself, running a comparison between different suppliers of energy storage starts from the EPC. To do the comparison, it should be done for the full solution, not only item per item. For example, our solution can save a lot of other costs, which is the cost of the canopy, the cost of the EMS, the cost of the transformer, the cost of the controller, because our solution is all integrated. So if you consider all this extra cost, our solution can be very competitive, sometimes even cheaper if you compare full solution to full solution. That's number one. Number two, you'll be having much more reliable system by making sure the system can completely have a sustained power delivery of if it's a microgrid or if it's for on a grid. Number third, you will have more energy, usable energy over the lifetime of the system. Not a lot of people are very experienced in energy storage, but for example, at least one of the ideas is that not a lot of people know that, but you need to do calibration of the batteries at least twice a year for the cells and the packs. That means you need to go to the system, shut it down, do the calibration on site, and then turn it back on. Our system have optimizers which do the active balancing. So this means there's no shutdown, and you will get continuous balancing of the battery. So you have much longer lifetime of the batteries and higher SOH. So you get more usable energy. So to do that, you need to make the comparison on LCOS, levelized cost of storage. This is over the lifetime of the projects, then you know exactly how you can compare between the different suppliers. Of course, we're not the cheapest, but our solution is, I believe, is much more reliable and it can be fully utilized.
value comparison compared to price comparison, always, as we always say this in solar, in every aspect of solar and battery energy storage. I think it's there to solve a solution. You do not want a system that creates more challenges, yani.
Of course.
Definitely. Thank you, Mahmoud. Piyush, we're gonna get back to you. I think the connection maybe is now better. Please go ahead.
Sorry for the interruption. I think your question was on the technical challenges for the UAE C&I market. I think there are two prominent challenges that we see in the market for UAE customers and developers as well. The first one is matching solar generation with the customer's actual load profile. Now, the common misconception is that two facilities with similar electricity consumption require the same solar or BESS solution. But in reality, that's not the case. Rather, every industry operates differently. Like, for example, manufacturing plant, a data center, warehouse, or a mining facility all have unique operating hours and load patterns. And that's why every project starts with the understanding of the customer's energy behavior. At Emerge, we analyze historical consumption data, interval meter data, and ideally 8760 hours load profile to understand not just how much energy is being consumed, but when it is also needed. I believe in the UAE market, many C&I customers also operate on zero export or limited export conditions. Without storage, excess solar energy is simply curtailed. So BESS solves this by storing surplus, daytime energy and using it later for during the peak demands and increase the self-consumption. What I ultimately would say on this challenge is it's not anymore of generating solar energy, more energy, but it's more about ensuring every unit of solar energy is used effectively. Coming to the second challenge in the line, the second challenge is which is becoming increasingly important in the UAE C&I market, is integrating renewable energy into existing electrical infrastructure. Unlike greenfield utility projects, most C&I facilities are already operational. They have existing substations, SCADA systems, critical industry processes, which needs to be upgraded whenever you are trying to integrate with the system. And our job is to integrate renewable energy without affecting reliability, safety, and production. And the most important factor in the integration would be, I would say, for a developer's perspective, is power plant controller and energy management systems. And in coming future, you will see AI also getting integrated with this solution. From my experience, every facility is different. There is no universal design that can be replicated from one project to another. So each project requires a detailed engineering studies and tailored control philosophy. Ultimately, the customers are not buying solar panels or equipments. They are investing in a reliable power system for next 20, 30 years. So success depends on like system integration, data profiling, and also not just equipment selection.
Thank you, Piyush.
Yeah.
A question: do you struggle finding the information? Because I think for battery energy storage, you need much more in detailed information to do the sizing properly. Do you struggle getting accurate information from the clients?
Yes, that's what the main challenge is. The first challenge that I described. The problem is actual load profiles are not getting detailed out at the initial stage. So what if the plant has to be successfully operated, you need the actual load profiles from the customer. That's where the actual developer problem comes into picture. And what solutions we can provide to it, either we go to the customer's facility and do the whole load profiling, but that's not possible for across the year. So ultimately, it has to be eased out from the customer's end to provide all the details that is required for putting up a solar BESS plant.
Thank you, Piyush. So I suggest for our viewers, whoever is interested into installing battery energy storage anytime in the future, just install some sort of a data logger or a meter to get very accurate data to make Piyush's life a little bit easier when he designs your system. Thank you, Piyush. Muhammad Adam,
Thank you.
I will ask you a very simple question. What is Huawei's value-added partner? What is VAP? And why can't I just call Mahmoud and buy 100 kilowatt inverter?
So, value-added partner, we are the only distributor for Huawei, and we're the only we're the only distributor for Huawei in Dubai and UAE. We have other partners that can also buy and distribute, but essentially, a JetCo is the key support to Huawei. And one of the rules and regulations of Huawei is that any orders, it has to go directly through a JetCo. It's part of their system. So if you call Mahmoud and try and get an inverter from him, he will send you directly to a JetCo. And in terms of pricing, you would say that a JetCo would offer a higher price. I would say there is no difference between a JetCo and Huawei pricing, as we operate as a one unified ecosystem. We always say to each other that we are one company. We are like a JetCo and Huawei are like brothers. So a JetCo is fully embedded in the same commercial structure as the authorized distributor.
So basically, I think anyway, Mahmoud cannot ship one inverter from China
Yeah,
to my
exactly.
house. So the advantages that you offer, just for me to understand, number one is fast delivery because the
Exactly.
orders, most of the products are available. Number two is after sales service. Instead of calling Mahmoud and sending the inverter to China and then fix it in China and send it back to your facility, you also cover the entire process.
Exactly. You can send it, you contact a JetCo, you send it directly to a JetCo, and we can help you support the warranty claim and we will replace it. We will be handling the replacement and supporting you every step of the way. But your
Thank
warranty
you.
is also, as I said, is directly with Huawei. So if a JetCo is not here, hopefully not in a couple of years, your warranty is still covered by
Valid
Huawei.
by our own. Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad Adam. Srivatsa, a question we got from three different people. Who are the clients that are contacting you the most today to solve a problem using energy storage in the UAE?
So, see, from the start of it, when we started back in 2015, the answer to this question is very simple. Any high consuming client has the need of going onto a reliant energy which is cheaper at the same rate. The client, when I speak to them, and I am speaking about large industrial clients, government holding clients, to probably new clients who have just dropped in their industries in the region, they really don't have the knowledge, or they really don't care that where this energy comes from, until unless it's a very reliable supplier or a reliable developer. They only care at the end of the day, give me a reliant energy, give my resilience, and give me a cheaper power. So the bridging story to this is that eventually you have to eye onto the clients who have very high consumption pattern. For me, in the pipeline are the clients who are cement based, in the heavy industrial based, heavy armory based, probably ceramics clients. They are very high in consumption. And when you approach them, their simple ask, as I said, remains, I love solar. I really don't know what is BSS because it's too new to this industry right now, but help me design it, get me the resilience, and I'm happy to go into BSS plus solar if there is Reliance suppliers on the ground. So in summary, capture the clients who have very high consumption. You will always find them in heavy industries, heavy logistics, heavy warehousing clients, and that's your key to get to there.
And how active is the replacement of diesel generators happening in the UAE?
UAE is a very smart grid operator in terms of the outreach to the industries. They have placed that grid very well. There are very few clients I see where the grid has not reached. If you allow me, Waleed, I'll just take the example of a neighboring country. Saudi Arabia is running a liquid displacement program, right? And this is just for the reference of the audience here. They are running a humongous program of removing the diesel generators from their cement, their ceramics, their agricultural companies, where they really want to remove the reliance on diesel generators by 2030, some companies by 2027 also. So I see more dominance of Saudi Arabia in this particular question rather than UAE, simply because the land mass area is huge. The kind of agricultural products, the kind of cement products, the kind of industrial products coming out of the country are huge. UAE is great, but they have already placed their grid very well. So that's where the differentiator comes in.
Thank you. Thank you, Srivatsa. Mahmoud, again to you 4 or 5 times people asked about DC and AC coupling, and what are the advantages of Huawei solutions there, please?
So our solution is AC coupled system. Typically, DC coupled system are the old method of connecting the smaller batteries, inverters, or they call it the hybrid inverters, where you connect the PV modules to the hybrid inverters and connect the batteries to the hybrid inverter. Then you have an output. This is a little bit used in the old systems, and it's mostly for much smaller size of microgrids. AC coupled system can provide more resilient, higher efficiency, and can be scalable in much larger capacities. Like Huawei has built one of the largest microgrid projects in the world, that's AC coupled system. That's around 1.3 gigawatt hour battery system, coupled with 400 megawatt solar. That can be only done through AC coupled system. It provides developing this AC coupled system. It provides friendliness. A lot of people, it's more friendly to use AC cables. It's much more simple to use it. And instead of using for DC, you will need much larger DC cables. You need more isolators. It's a little bit more dangerous to work on the DC coupled system than AC coupled system. Already we're utilizing the same on-the-grid inverters. It's not just developing a new inverter. No, it's the same on-the-grid inverters from Huawei. It can be used in microgrids, and the batteries have AC output through the PCS, which can be integrated to on-the-grid and off-the-grid. So as I said, and it's much more scalable, and it can be fully utilized in better ways than DC coupled system.
Mahmoud, follow-up question as well. I have seen it many times. Is your are your components open source, so you can use any battery with the Huawei inverter, you can use any EMS with any inverter, please?
Sure. Our batteries in a microgrid, on a grid system, you can use different suppliers. Then you use the third-party EMS to control it. It's fine. Especially in microgrids, we prefer to use our batteries if you're using our controller. So our batteries, our controller, our inverter. So we unify the communication language. So this is why one of the advantages of using Huawei system is that one controller can access and control Huawei inverters, Huawei batteries, optimizers if that's in, then do the control and the logic of the full microgrid or the off-grid operation. But if you're using third-party, let's say EMS, then yes, maybe you can use third-party inverter or third-party components, but that will somehow jeopardize the overall operation of the system, because the most difficult thing to do in energy storage or in microgrid is the communication or to make components talk to each other, which is a little bit difficult to do if multiple suppliers or multiple vendors are involved in the same project.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Piyush, a question to you. What are, from your perspective, since again you interact with the end users a lot, what are the main worries of the end users regarding battery energy storage? Because for a certain period of time, we used to see all these videos about fire everywhere and data centers and so. And then we started to see that there is maybe leakage or toxic materials coming out of batteries and weather conditions and so on. What do you feel is the biggest concern today from the end users that together all of us can work on solving?
Okay, I would say that while every customer has different business objectives, there are very few common questions that comes almost from every C&I customer before they start investing into solar and BESS project. I'll start. Before I answer your question on the specifically for the BESS, I'll highlight few of the other concerns that are also very common in the industry. So first concern is the business continuity. So customers want to know whether the installation will interrupt their production or impact day-to-day operations. Because since many industrial facilities operate around the clock, and even few hours of downtime, can result in significant financial losses. Therefore, the careful planning, phased implementation, and detailed shutdown coordination becomes very essential. Second, very important question comes on the reliability. Customers often ask what happens if the grid fails, or like there is if what if there is any disturbance while connecting to the system. So that's where the solution comes into picture: smart and intelligent energy management systems, power plant controllers, and that's where the main role of the battery energy storage comes into play, like grid forming capabilities. These all parameters, play vital role in ensuring stable and reliable operation. Coming to the best safety, which is also a very important topic. Not many customers would ask about that until unless they know the equipment, right? So particularly as many customers are deploying BESS for the first time, a question around thermal runaway, fire protection, and operational safety are very common in the BESS section. These concerns are addressed through like internationally recognized, standards, NFPA, UL standards, and like advanced battery management systems. And we also owe to the OEMs who support us during that discussion. And like fire suppression system is one of the concerns. Setting up, a water-based fire suppression system in the facility, and then ultimately the comprehensive safety testings as per international standards. So these are the major questions that comes to us as a developer. Finally, every discussion eventually comes down to the return on investment and payback period. But that's where we show our expertise into system optimization and maximizing the self consumption, and also reducing the energy curtailment that is required for the system. So these are like critical, high value additions that we do as a developer before we put up the solution into the C&I customers place. Yeah.
Thank you, Piyush. Srivatsa, one question repeated twice. Is there any unique special regulations or policy or approvals process for people who want to install battery energy storage systems for their EV charger?
Yes. Thank you for that question. So in the past couple of years, there was none. But when the demand, and especially with these solar installations, the demand started because the clients wanted us to amalgamate the EV and the solar projects together and do it in one time when the developers were installing the solar plants. And eventually what we learned, and this applies to DEWA, which is Dubai, and TAQA DOE for Abu Dhabi, you'd need to have a special approval related to EV chargers. It can be one and it can be many, but a special request is required. The simple understanding is that the utilities don't take EV chargers as a spare load anymore. So let's say a client has a spare load, you cannot use EV chargers on that. EV chargers need to have a dedicated section in the load schedule. Allow me to go a little technical on the load schedule to get the approval. In some Emirates, we also see that the unit of electricity provided to the sub-meter of EV chargers is different from the utility rate. So that's one of the main reasons that you will see that when you provide an EV charger to a client, the utility will tell you to do a sub-metering at that concept. So in nutshell, the answer is simple. Yes, a separate approval is required. When you submit your solar approvals, your BSS approvals to the utility, you just add a section of saying that we need EV chargers at this particular MDB or an SMDB, and you get it. But there is a process around it.
But that's whether it's on-grid or off-grid,
Mm-hmm.
or only for on-grid applications?
On-grid, yes. Off-grid, essentially, you don't require any application approval, as I said before. In Dubai, especially, you don't require any application because you're not connected to the grid. So utility really don't gets into your nature of business. But in Northern Emirates and in Abu Dhabi, when you go for BSS, off-grid, solar, EV charger application, as I explained, you have to apply it as a separate understanding in your load schedules.
Thank you, Shrivat. Mahmoud, one question from Mr. Munib. Mr. Munib says, achieving 100% DOD is amazing, brilliant, but doesn't it have a negative impact over the battery if you keep on continuously discharge it to 0%?
No. At least this is what our batteries are designed for, especially for on-the-grid. On-the-grid application, you can, let's say, SOH, state of health of the batteries, or the number of cycles of our batteries can reach to, if I remember correctly, 7,300 cycles. Cycle mean a full charge, full discharge, 100% charging, 100% discharge. Of course, if you did not fully charge and fully discharge the batteries, that will give you less number of cycles, which brings you more into lifetime of your batteries. This is basically an on-the-grid. In off-the-grid projects, you will need the batteries to still have a little bit juice in it to do the grid forming. Our system can still do grid formation, and we recommend the DOD to be 98% on charging, and discharging the minimum we recommend is to go all the way down to 5%, so that you still have energy in the batteries, and on charging the batteries, you still have some tolerance on capacity on charging, so that you don't have any difficulties or issues in the power generation from the inverters. But answering your question, no, because this is what it is designed to do. It's 7,300 cycles. That's roughly maybe 17, 18 years, or 20.
And Mahmoud, is there any plans for Huawei to move into other technologies of cells other than the lithium? There is a lot of talk about sodium ion today. There is a lot of talk about solid state batteries. Any plans announced yet?
Nothing officially announced yet, but Huawei have its own development. We invest a lot of money in research and development. Typically, Huawei does not manufacture its own cells, but we request other manufacturers and suppliers to manufacture for us, but it's within our own specs and our own requirement. For example, each batch of batteries need to pass at least 100 tests to be considered as a successful batch for Huawei. But in technology now, we're still under development. I cannot say yes or no if we're going to implement.
This means yes.
Unofficially, yeah, but this is we're still working on the LFP, lithium iron phosphate.
Thank you, Mahmoud. We are already 15 minutes beyond our time limit. I'm very sorry to the panel. I'm sure you have other commitments, so we're gonna end with one last question to Mr. Muhammad Azam or Muhammad. I think there is 6 or 7 people posting about wanting to get a quotation. So number one, لازم تعطيني commission, and number 2, if you can tell everyone in the audience how is the best way for them to communicate, to contact you by email, by phone, by anything, for them to get the Huawei products in the UAE and other GCC region.
You can contact us through email. I think Mr. Walid has already our email address and phone number, and they can share it with you on this link. The best possible way would be through email, and we have an entire sales and technical team that can support you with your inquiries.
And can people come visit you at the office
Of course.
Just
Yes.
come over?
Of
Where
course.
is your office
Our
based?
office is located in Deira, Dubai. It's Al Maktoum Hospital Road, very close to Al Ghoreir Center. So you can find us, and it's on Google Maps. So if you have any questions or inquiries, you can contact us.
Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Srivatsa. Thank you, Piyush. Thank you, Mahmoud. It has been brilliant. Unfortunately, I have 47 questions still. We're going to share it, by the way. We're going to share the questions with the panel. Whatever answers we get, we're going to post them on our social media at Solarabic, all over our channels. Please, people, if you have unanswered questions, keep an eye on our posts. We usually do that now. Thank you all for your time. It has been brilliant. It has been very useful, top topic, amazing panels. And we look forward to doing this again in the future.